new information, the new release of the next 5-star batch. So I know there's some bots of people are going to be knowing what's going to be in this batch. So, without further ado, Tasmanian Kid and Metal Hawk are the endurance bots that are going to be in the new batch. I think everyone sort of saw that coming. Tasmanian Devil Dog and Metal Hawk are massively glitched right now, and so Dale is actually working behind the scenes to fix them. They're both broken. The big debate right now in playtest is whether to fix Tasmanian Kid or whether to change him. A bit about that shortly. Next up, we have two legacy bots, which is Cosmos and Mindwipe and Lightspeed and Iron Bison. So those are the two legacy bots coming. And so the big question is, the fifth bot, who's that going to be? Well, we are sticking with the theme of combiners. And I think in this sense, it's not only going to be a good bot, it's going to be a really good outpost bot, but I think the cons are going to be really happy with this. The next bot in the batch is going to be Chromia and Felbat. Yes. So Chromia as an outpost bot is going to be good, but the big thing there is that Felbat then completes Lao Kaiser, and so then we have Computron and Lao Kaiser as 5-star combiners, and they have been announced as the next combiners coming to the game as 5 stars. That is official. That is not me speculating. That is official. I said to Dale, I said, when can we sort of expect this? Dale is starting working on Computron as we speak already. Because he's done so well, Volcanicus getting him nearly polished off, and he is literally nearly there. Just a few little tweaks. Computron and Larkaz are going to be the next 5-star combiners. And so, after the conversation about Volcanicus, and we talked about people having specific jobs, I asked Dale, I said, well, what are we going to do for Computron then? And we're just sort of spitballing. And he said, well, there's a lot about hack in it, sort of around Computron, things like that, but he definitely needs some sort of increase. I think defense is pretty decent. That ability is still used. I used to use Computron in my outpost. He said maybe we might make some slight tweaks to make that even better. But ultimately, I think he just needs his other abilities making a lot better. And then we talked about, the Volcanicus giving the bots a Megatronus effect. I went, what if we gave all the bots an anti-hack effect? That actually might help with Beachcomber maybe. Because Beachcomber are constantly hacking your bots over and over. Imagine Computron giving your bots 20 seconds of hack invulnerability. Would that help against Beachcomber? And I've always said that we should create counters and create overpowered stuff and encounters for it. So maybe that will work. But interesting where it goes. But going back to the batch itself. So Tasmanian Kid, I'm not too sure. I didn't go for him. I wasn't impressed with him. I actually think I called him one of the worst bots in the game at the time. Some people actually quite like him. It's supposed to be good for leveling, things like that. I wasn't a big fan. I didn't like the way the ability worked. And even when I read the ability, it I sort of refreshed myself the other day and I thought, I'm going to go and have a look at him again and sort of read it. And even when I read it, it kind of didn't make any sense to me. So we've got perform a sideswipe strike that deals X seconds in an area. If hitting a target under the effect of Mega Swipe, the duration of water effect is reset. So there's no if hitting a target under the effects, it doubles or triples. It's just the duration of the water effect is reset. So use your ability. If you use the other one, the other ability disappears. It kind of just makes no sense. But thinking back, it was kind of you had to sort of combo the two abilities. But the cost of it to combo was just too expensive. So at 4 plus 2, you've got to think 4 ability points. And you've got to use the second one. So you've got to use both. That's 4 plus 6. So that's 10 ability points to do whatever damage in an area for 10 ability points. That's very expensive. And when we sort of look at other bots what damage they do for 7 ability points. You know, doing 10k damage in an area. He's just getting overlooked completely. But Dale said that he's completely broken. And the debate is whether they should completely rework him and change him completely, or whether they should just make him do what he should. And then we've got Metal Hawk, and apparently he's working as his G1. He's working within the bot without his G1. You don't even need his G1. And apparently he's doing a lot more than what he should as well. So he's broken as well. A lot of people apparently in top alliances have been taking advantage of this, which is fair enough. That's the way it goes. But he's going to be fixed as well. So those bots are going to change. Now, Dale did say in an interview with me that if you want a legacy bot that's going to get reworked, then go and vote for that. But if it comes in a batch, you won't get many changes. So I can't imagine Chromia and Fellback getting too many changes. Me personally, I would like to see the HP of the tower increased a bit more. That's the one thing I would like to see. I think then they could be really, really good outpost bots. I just feel like once that tower goes down, if you just sort of snipe the tower a couple of times, it disappears, it's done, it's gone. So I'm not really too happy with Chromia and Fellback the way they are right now as 5 stars, just becoming 5 stars. Back in the day, they were absolutely pesky. But I do think it needs some editing. But this is going to cause a bit of a problem in terms of leveling as well. Because when we used to have Chromia and Fellback in Outpost, it caused chaos when leveling with bots. If you're still going to level with combiners, I think you're fine. But at lower levels, those that still use bots to level are going to find it a little more difficult. Because they're going to find even more Fellbacks and even more Chromias in bases when you're leveling. And then just to double down on that, with Cosmos and Mindwipe coming out as 5 stars and coming in the batch, they'll be more prevalent as well. We're going to have more Cosmos and Mindwipe on defense as well. So the 2 bots are probably 2 of the most pesky bots in terms of stopping people leveling with bots are coming in the new 5-star batch. Lightspeed for me is an okay defense bot. I have leveled up quite high. Not found any real massive use for him really as yet. And so I've got to start look at this batch and think, Tasmanian Kid, am I pumped up about that? No. Metal Hawk, am I pumped up about that? No. Cosmos Mindwipe, yeah, I don't mind that. Lightspeed Iron Bison, am I happy with that? Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, I don't mind that. It's alright. Chromia and Fellback, yeah, it's going to be alright. Combiner pieces, granted. But they're all, decent bots. But nothing jumps out at me. There's nothing in this batch other than combiner piece that I go, wow, I want that bot. And that's kind of what happened with the last batch. Because we went through a stage of bringing out some really good content. And then we kind of came out with some really substandard content around bots. And this is kind of around the time that sort of Jesse took over in playtest and started doing these bots. I think he really struggled really in terms of creating really good content and didn't really understand the game. And this is sort of the era we're in terms of 5-star batches. And so I worry that it's not going to be as good as the previous batch and we're still going to go back to that batch. So for me, as an Autobot, I think I might try and get Cosmos. I think it's a good counter for Beachcomber. I think it'd be good on defense. I think maybe Chromia. The other 3, I've got Lightspeed already, so I think I'm going to try and avoid Tasmanian Metal Hawk unless they really rework them. I just think back to when Dale sort of said that they're not going to really spend much time reworking 5-star batches. The idea is to work on legacies more, and that really worries me. With the fact they're working on 5-star Computron, the fact they're working on the 5-star batch, the fact they're trying to get all this sorted, the fact they're still trying to do combats. Yes, they've got Fabian in, so they've got another developer, but there's a lot happening right now behind the scenes and in the game that I just worry about this 5-star batch really becoming a good batch other than just combiner pieces. So they have said they're taking the time with it. It'll probably be out next Saga. There's no rush, I don't think, with it, which I agree with. But we'll have to wait and see where this batch ends up in the long term. But what do you guys think? Are you happy with this batch? Which bots are you going to chase? Will it match the previous batch? Are you confident that the apes are going to, turn around Metal Hawk and Tasmanian Kid and make them actually pretty decent? If Dale's on board, are these things going to happen and make these bots relevant again? Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think.